This is Jacob Fry with Tech IT Services. This is going to be an introduction to a complete rebuild of a machine. I've got a customer's computer here that they did not want anymore, and I've destroyed the hard drive, and I'm going to refurbish this machine. So I went ahead and took it completely into pieces, and I'm going to do a step-by-step installation of each component. And this is just going to be an overview of all the components and how it's taken apart, and then I will start doing multiple videos to do the actual installation process. Now right here I've got the motherboard. This right here is an old Intel motherboard. It fits an Intel Core 2 Duo. Let's see if I can get my hands done right here. Get my camera straightened up so it's a little easier. There we go. This is an Intel Core 2 Duo motherboard. I think it's a socket 775. You get RAM slots here, your socket for your processor, your socket for your processor, your north bridge, your south bridge. This is a PCI 16X slot, 1X slot, and then these are the old school standard ones. You got your power connection and your IDE for your 3.5 floppy, which I'm not going to use. There's one in there, but I'm not going to connect it. And then your SATA ports, you got 4 SATA ports, the blue being the SATA 0, and then 1, 2, 3. That gets you all 4. Here's your 4-pin power over here, and then you have your standard I/O board here, input, output. Right here. So that's kind of a real quick overview of the motherboard. Here's the processor. This is an Intel Core 2 Duo. I'm not sure of all the specifications. I haven't even removed the heatsink compound off of it. I'm not too worried about the specs on it here because it's fairly old. This is just a standard DVD drive. This is the heatsink that will go on the processor. You've got the RAM that goes in it. This is DDR2. 2 gig chips. They're dual channel. I'm not 100% sure if dual channel works in this board, but I'm going to figure it out once I get finished. I have the old RAM somewhere. It was 2 1 gig chips, and I can always put that back in to use it. Here's the heatsink fan that'll go on top of the heatsink here. You've got your SATA cables here. This will connect your data, the data for the DVD drive and the hard drive. This is a 300 watt power supply. It's an ATX power supply. It goes with this motherboard. Fairly old, and all this was originally a Vista machine, but I'm going to upgrade this to 7, and with all the things that I have, I can easily get this to run 7. This is an older Radeon video card that I'm going to install in here that was originally in here. This is an expansion Ethernet card because the onboard Ethernet was having an issue. It could have been a software issue, but I think it's a hardware issue. This is a case fan, standard case fan. I think it's a 120mm case fan. And this is actually a laptop hard drive. It's a 160 gig platter drive that I've modified the case to this thing to be able to fit this. And that's the one that I'm going to use because I don't need it and I don't have a spare desktop hard drive right now, but it doesn't matter. You can use either one of them as long as it'll fit in there. Down here in the floor, I have the case. It's an empty case right here. Everything's out of it. It's completely gutted from front to back. Only thing in here you have left is the 3.5 floppy, which I'm not even going to hook up. The front I/O panel, which has got the cords inside, and the power switch, which is this black thing right here. And we got the front to it. The old Dell one I've been using in some of these how-to videos is real easy to pop on. And then the case side. So I'm going to start on the next video installing the motherboard and go from there, and I'm going to try to get all these components installed and show you how to do it. So hopefully you'll join me for the next video. You can visit me at www.frytechit.com.